What's happening, fam? Happy Friday. I really didn't even know who's live right now. So if whoever's live right now, I don't mean to step on your toes, but shout out to you. Um, but I'm gonna get into this topic. Um, if you tell by the title, what happens when you don't grow up. See, a lot of times when we're young, when we're kids, some of us don't want to grow up. Some of us think it's gonna be one way forever. Hotep, what's happening with you, young Jay? Some of us think, I'm gonna be like this forever. It's always gonna go down. What's up, T Ray? What's up, Third Ward? And what winds up happening is it don't necessarily work out the way you think for the most part because you're not growing up. And sometimes people don't take into consideration exceptions aren't the rules and anomalies aren't the rule, and even the people that you think are in positions that you would want to be in, and they look and seem like they're not acting like adults. They are acting like adults. They are grown. You know. Oh man, I'm glad you got it, living. Like I said, I hope you get something from it. It's built like a doggone. I did it like one like the like it's like a big magazine style type of thing. So that's why it's the size it is. I didn't want to do a regular book like that. Um, just so because you can skip if you want to. Like you can read it all the way through, or you can skip to the parts that you might need the most. That's why I did it like that. Um, so getting back to it, I've noticed over the years, Ron, what's popping? I've noticed over the years, you know, you got it. Uh, what I wound up noticing is a lot of people in my age group, a lot of people older than me. Uh, I just say I'm not even gonna say a lot. I've run into people in my age group. I've run into people older than me, and I've run into people younger than me who are dead set on not growing up. And what happens is they wind up being a drain on you because whatever they feel like, they feel like they could do whatever and this, that. A lot of times people don't want to say this, but the calls you get from people who want something and need something and who are always in who are in a jam and who need help, it's normally not from people who grew up, who became adults. It's normally from people who had this childish mindset that they're gonna always live in a moment, they're gonna always live it up, they're gonna always they're gonna do a feel good type life and lifestyle, and then reality strikes and now they need help, and they keep needing help. you know it's one thing when you're in your 20s trying to get it together, or you because you left at 17, 18, whatever you want to say. And so in your early 20s, I don't expect you to get it all together. By your mid 20s to late 20s, you got to start rocking. What's up, Bucket? You know, but you see a lot of people playing that game. What's up, Devin? Where you know you didn't want to be grown, you wanted to play around, or you thought you always had time. And I've run into too many people in my life who felt like they had time. And the crazy part about it is, you know, at my age, oh my goodness, I feel like I need to sneeze now. At my age, I got people who are in my age group and who are older than me. Yeah, that life passing by. What's up, JT? That they don't take into consideration that you know you don't help people. And let me be more specific. If you don't grow up, hey Gigi, you gonna wind up being, you wind up being the person that's always trying to live your best life, but you never grow up. But then you're the same person who's asking for help, but at the same time, since you was living your best life, you never helped anybody. Like the same person who needs somebody to look out for them. I need $100 for this. I need $50 for this. Oh, I'm late on my rent. Or my lights about to get cut off. Oh, my car about to get repossessed. Oh, I ran out of gas. Yeah. Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I need to fix my car right now. Oh, I need a ride. Oh, that's that person. And you find that person never, when you what happens when you don't grow up, you get so accustomed to being a child mentally that you think it's okay to keep calling people asking for stuff. You think it's okay to keep messing up other people's stuff. You think it's okay to always be a taker. I would do it for you if I had it, but you never have it because you never grew up. You living like a child day to day. You think like a child day to day. You never have it, and when you have it, you blow it on something. You don't do what an adult does. If somebody looks out for an adult, you know what they do when they got it together. They hit that person back with whatever it is. They show some type of appreciation or some type of gesture, or they pay them back or they pay them back with interest. Depends on, we talking about grown stuff. But a lot of people who don't want to grow up, they don't do that. What's up, Carlton, man? Yeah, Peter Pan complex. It's just, and you know, it's a drain on people. And I've seen people waste decades. You know, like I've given up video games. I did that so long ago, I don't even remember. Shit. No, Michael Jackson was not a Peter Pan syndrome. Michael Jackson wound up dying owning half of Sony. He was grown. Michael Jackson bought the Beatles catalog. He was grown. Billie Jean is not his lover. She's just a girl who says that he is the one. He handled his business in life. I'm talking about the people, like he looked like a person who had the Peter Pan syndrome, but his house was paid off. His land was paid off. His electric bill was paid. Even after he was dead, he had money coming in. His children are taken care of for life. You know, he grew up very early. What's up, Tiff? You know, no, it ain't no thing, Sam, man. I'm just saying, like other people, you know, you need to get back to your childhood. You better stop it, Faye. You know, but that's one of the things where, when people don't grow up, they do stupid stuff and they think it's okay. You know, I was thinking about that scene in Fences when when Denzel was talking to the son. You just give me $10, you could get a job. Oh, I can't do that. I gotta, I gotta do something to make me feel alive. How come you can't work and then use that money to make you feel alive? See, there's a lot of people, rest in peace to my little cousin. You know what I'm saying? And I say that for a reason. My little cousin was a music producer, right? And he really didn't, you know, he didn't finish school, but that's what he wanted to do. He 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 went all the way in on that though. You know what I'm saying? I think the best artist that I think Lil Wayne was actually on one of his tracks. So that was the biggest artist. He had Juvenile, he had Young Greatness, that Moolah, that was actually my little cousin's song. Um, Track rather. But the reason I'm saying that is to say this: he was willing to go through the ups and downs of life when he made that path. He wasn't being childish about it and be like, oh, man, I just want to live his lifestyle. But if I make money, I'm gonna do this. If I don't make money, I'm gonna cut up. No, he went all the way with it. What's tied? Tied? What's popping? So, and we used to have those conversations. He'd be like, man, what do you think? Should I get a job? I was like, look, if you're doing what you love to do for a living and it makes a living, everybody goes through tough spells where they're not making as much money, or it's like a business thing. So, but when money started coming, bam, 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 it was all good. And I say that to say this: I know other people who entered that life and lifestyle because they just wanted to kick it. and they spent decades just kicking it. So they didn't even actually put in any work. They didn't even put up any stats. They didn't even have any put up any numbers. They just wanted to live a lifestyle. And it was always something. All these people who just want to be free. This is what happens when you don't grow up. You just want to be free. My bad. What's up, John? You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, decades. I mean, I am dead serious. Decades. I just want to look at the stars at night, and I just want to just be free, and I just want to, and they wind up homeless, and they wind up living with somebody who's, they wind up back to back to back to back living with someone who's giving them shelter and food, and they can't keep their phone on, and they can't keep their car, and they can't keep gas in their car. And, I'm just going on a hard time. No, you've been going on a hard time for 15 years straight. It's because you don't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But when my album hit, but you don't even work on the album. You don't have no money. You don't have a computer. You can't buy tracks. What are you talking about? But you got money for weed. I'm so stressed out. I gotta smoke. You got money for cigarettes. You tripping. See, this is what happens when you don't grow up. You said I'm on my way. That's the crazy stuff about it. Melvin, what's popping? Yeah, exactly. Want to party every weekend. What happens when you don't want to grow up is you party yourself to the point where, like I don't understand people who always have to have a good time every weekend. Every weekend, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's got to be something. It's got to be something. It's like, if you don't sit down somewhere, because what winds up happening is you can't actually function as an adult. Because even when it comes to your kids, your family, what winds up happening? What's up, Major? What winds up happening is you can only function with your own life and your own family on the weekdays. Then it's the weekend, and you try to figure out, what are you so stressed out about? What is the weekend giving you? Just to sit down and talk trash, and sometimes drink, and sometimes smoke, and sometimes party. That's cool to a degree, but you don't do that all the time. Like, seriously. Like, what happens when you don't grow up is you become irrelevant. You start watching the people that you made fun of, or you thought they were lames and they were suckers. You start watching how your lives go in different directions. You know what I'm saying? What happens when you don't grow up? You're not prepared for life. See, if you get sick, you scared to go to the hospital because you don't have any medical insurance. Because you was just having fun. You can't go to the dentist because you don't have no dental insurance, because you was just having fun. And now you're trying to save up money, and now you're just getting your teeth pulled because it's the cheapest thing, and you're gonna wind up, with no teeth, or you're gonna wind up getting sick because if you don't fix your teeth, you're gonna wind up with cavities or abscess, or you know what I'm saying, and your body's gonna get infected, and that's gonna send you to the hospital at some point. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. What's up, Astro Knight? Like, so now this is what happens when you don't want to grow up. Like, and then you want somebody around you to help you out and do this for you and do that for you. And then you don't know how to put things, you don't know. See, what happens when you don't want to grow up, you don't know how to manage your money. You don't know how to live within your means or below your means. It's always got to be above your means. And what I mean by manage money, you don't put into your budget how much, you don't put into your monthly budget how much your health insurance costs, how much your dental costs. You know what I'm saying? You don't put into the budget how much your life insurance costs. You don't put into the budget, okay, my water bill is this if I use this amount. My water bill is this if I use that amount of water. My electricity is going to be this amount in the summertime if I have my stuff on like this amount of time. My electricity bill is going to be this amount if I do it this amount of time. Topaz, how you doing? So now, what happens when you don't want to grow up is you always broke. You're not always broke. You're always behind because you're not taking into consideration the real things you need, your necessities. Your food is a necessity, but see what happens when you don't want to grow up. You want to live on a college diet. You want to eat pizza every day. You want to go eat takeout every day. And oh man, I don't never had no money. I know you don't never have no money because you don't never cook. You don't ever shop. That same $20 you spend a day on food, add that up. What's that? Because it don't look like much if you dropping 20 here, dropping, what I'm saying, dropping 5 here, dropping 5 here, drop 10 there. Oh, what I'm saying, I just got this, I just got that, I just got that. And then when people used to tell me, and it spills over until when people buy groceries themselves. What happens? This is what happens when you don't want to grow up. You want to go into the grocery store and you want to buy stuff you can't afford. Look, I can only have the best. I got to have all the name brand stuff. You better not listen. You can't afford all the name brand stuff. Get the off brand stuff. It tastes okay. You might not think it tastes just like the name brand stuff. Some of the off brand stuff does not taste nothing near the name brand stuff. But some of the off brand stuff tastes just like some of the off brand stuff tastes just like the name brand stuff. And it costs you $1, $2 less. You might want to do that. A lot of people don't get it, man, because what happens when you don't want to grow up? You playing around. You costing yourself money left and right. I gotta have, a lot of times what happens when you don't want to grow up is you fantasize life. You want to have all the finest things in life, but you don't know what the finest things cost. You don't know how to upkeep the finest things. You don't know, the real price of the finest things. You said crystal hot sauce. You know what I'm saying? I don't even eat hot sauce. But you don't even know that. I want a Rolex. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why? This is what happens when you get people. I'm gonna get a Benz. I'm gonna get a BMW. Okay, but I want to tell you something. If you get a, it used to be like this back in the day. I think it's changed a little bit. What's up, Patrick? My bad. Delayed gratification. And what's up, Mike? Yeah, so, most of this, I feel you, most of society didn't grow up, and what kills me about this is, I remember people used to like BMWs, right? They still like BMWs and Benz. Benz is BMWs, German engineering per se, right? And most people didn't realize that there was a time where everybody had a lot of people had a 3 Series BMW and people couldn't figure out why. It was because those parts were cheaper and they were more interchangeable. Now, when the people got to them 5 Series and up, you couldn't, those parts were, I had to get my car fixed and it cost me $2,500 for this and that. Yeah, that's because you bought a car that you couldn't keep the maintenance on it. And the crazy part about it is, a lot of these people, what's up, Paul? A lot of times when you living like that, a lot of people are horrible drivers. Why do you want to get something expensive in a luxury car to, and fly this and fly that when you can't take care of it? You ride bad. You ever seen a person with a brand new car and they still got the tags on it and you could tell by the way they driving it, they're going to mess it up. Yeah, want to Escalade but got shut. But then getting the Escalade and drive crazy. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. On them expensive models, it is high. Right. This is a problematic thing because, this is what happens when you don't want to grow up. What's up, Omega Dress? What's popping? Because it don't make no sense. Some people forget that stuff. This is what happens when you don't want to grow up. You want to live in a fantasy. The same thing, like it's the same flip side when people say I'm gonna lease a car, and you see a person always leasing cars because they don't own a car, but they leasing cars. All their cars are fly. Every 2-3 years they got a new car, but it's a new lease, and they pay the money down and they lease the car, but they never own a car. You see, that catches up with you after a while. That's going, but you just wanted to be fly. This is what happens when you don't want to grow up. You want to always have the nicest, flyest model and this, that, and the third. Now you're doing stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? The lease payments is this, that, and the third. Yeah. I get all that. But when you gonna own something? See, this is what happens when you don't want to grow up. I remember being in college and people were just assuming, I'm gonna get out into the world, I'm gonna make my mark, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have all this money. But see, the thing about it was people didn't want to grow up. People still wanted to bring your bad college habits into your real life. Or you still wanted to do the things you was doing in college in your adult life, because now you've grown. And what I mean by that is, like, there was a lot of people who wanted to be grown so bad so they could do childish stuff. Like, now I could do whatever I want because I'm grown. And what happened is you did everything you wanted because you grown, and now you put yourself in the hole. And now you can't blame anybody else because you were the one in the driver's seat making all these decisions. So now guess what happened? Now you in the hole, and now you want people to help you. And people looking at you like, no. Why I got to take food off my plate to feed you? Why? And don't get me twisted. Some people do make mistakes, but people hit a certain age where nobody want to hear your mistakes. And it gets bad. It gets real bad. Black Rain, what's popping? Ray, thanks, man. You know what I'm saying? But when that warranty go out and they don't, and that's the crazy part about it. Like, if you're gonna buy, you're gonna buy a new car. I don't understand these people who go to the dealerships and they buy these new cars and they got like 100,000-mile warranty. You know what I'm saying? 70,000-mile warranty. 4-year, 5-year warranty, and then 3-4 years they didn't ran all the miles. I'm like, where you driving? You know what I'm saying? This is what happens. I got something. You know what I'm saying? I want to drive it everywhere. Everybody got to see me. I'm just gonna drive everywhere. Where we going? Where we going to Florida? We going to New York? You know what I'm saying? I just want everybody to see my car. And then that warranty is done, and you still making payments on it. You tripping? Thanks, Tony. See, this is what thanks, man. This is what happens when you don't want to grow up. That's when I would talk about, people inheriting houses from like somebody would die and they leave property and money to people, and those people just throw it away because those people never grew up. Like the vast majority of the people I've seen who've lost a house, and some people I've seen lose multiple houses because they just didn't want to pay the taxes on. Right? I've seen people, inherit cars, inherit money, and they buy themselves cars and they just get rid of the car. Car paid for. I just want something new. Wait a minute. You just dropped this off at a car lot or a junkyard or something. It's still fully functional. All you got to do is make a few little minor, do a few little minor repairs to it, and it's good to go. What are you doing? I just want something new. So now they go out and get a car note. Now that person goes out and gets pays rent. They get a new mortgage, right? And you're sitting there like, you didn't grow up. I just want. You're an idiot. And I've had these conversations where I had to sit down with people who are older than me and be like, you do realize, you could have used that property as passive income, and that could have paid a car note. You know what I'm saying? But even with that message, I don't want that kind of responsibility. See, what happens when you don't grow up is you want money, but you don't want responsibility. And that's a disgusting thing to see, especially when people get older, because what winds up happening is you run into a lot of people who they never want a responsibility, Is yeah, idiot. You know what's going on, fitness mom? They Seneca was popping. My bad. You know, Rael, what's going on? Like they never want a responsibility as a kid. They never want a responsibility as a young adult. Now they don't want responsibility as an adult. And now it's everybody. And for some odd reason, you know, because you didn't want to grow up, you think everybody's supposed to be responsible for you. Everybody's just supposed to have a slush fund for you. Everybody's supposed to have money in the kitty for you because they know that you're just not gonna have it together. And it's like this is what happens when you don't want to grow up. People get tired of helping you. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Ben? People get tired of that. What happens when you don't want to grow up is, you know, you still want to do childish things and say I'm sorry like a child. You know how when children make mistakes, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. But see, there comes a point where people are like, look, you're an adult now. I don't want your apology. I want restitution. Now you got adults running around here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Where's the restitution? What do you mean? You broke it. You buy it. You broke it. You fix it. Who does that? Everybody that's an adult does that. You think you could just get away doing absolutely nothing. See, this is what happens when you don't want to grow up. You got a childish mindset. What's up, Tyrone? Wow, this was good. Yeah, people, man, that sucks. That don't make no sense. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get on that too. You know what happens when you don't want to grow up, even with bad parenting. You have a kid and you expect everybody else to raise your kid. See, now I've met too many parents. Like I was in a generation where there was a lot of latchkey kids, and I was one of those. And what that means is a lot of times the kids were more mature than the parents because the parents were out here just living their best life. You know, they was always looking for an out because see, what happens when you don't want to grow up is you just don't want to be a responsible parent because that takes sacrifice. You know, and a lot of people don't want to sacrifice, don't want to make a sacrifice. Yeah, exactly. It's super, man, Coco, you know what it is, man. Like that's so disgusting. I just want you to listen to me. Turf, what's good? You know, as long as you, yeah, I mean, it's terrible. You know, a lot of people don't want to, it's a lot of people who don't want to grow up, and you could, and I'm going to say it like this, and going back to the video games, when you become an adult, you can, if you play video games, that's your business. But you have to set aside a time after you handle all your business to play video games. Like when you become an adult and you playing video games all day and you ain't getting no work done, you're not growing up. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you playing on your phone all day taking pictures, what are you really doing with your life? Because see, this is the problem. Man, thanks, Turf. You know, what happens when you don't want to grow up is you don't. Then what I'm about to say is gonna sound mad disrespectful to certain people, but now you look like an old child. You out here taking pictures of yourself, and you look like an old child that didn't want to grow up. You don't look like an adult. You out here playing all these games. Now you look like an old child. They calling you, hey, dinner's ready. I'm gonna be right out. I got one more game. You 38, man. What are you doing? Put the game down. You mean you in your 30s and you still you rather play a video game than eat? Are you kidding me right now? See, this is what happens when you don't want to grow up. Because truth be told, life is more fun than these games people play. You know, You know what I'm saying? Salute to you for that, Wallace. Q, what's happening? You know, this is where we at with stuff. Some people just don't want to grow up. You know, everybody want to look cute, but you don't want to look grown. Like what? Or some people are so. Some people was never the man in high school or college or as a young adult, or they was never the woman in high school, college, or young adult. So now what you're trying to do is instead of being the man with the adult scene and those people who are grown. What's up, Aisha? What's happening? I'm bugging. You know, Instead of being the man or the woman with the grown scene, you want to go backwards. You want to go backwards because I want to relive the time I couldn't do what I want to do. Now I can do it. Man, if you don't sit your goofy ass down, you know what I'm saying? What's up, Tyrone? My bad. You want to go backwards. And now you look like an old fool because you don't want to grow up. And what I mean by that is I'm about to say some things, you know, let me tell you, when you young, you wanted to drink before you was 21. You wanted to see what it was. And now, you an adult. Now you can drink. Now you drinking all over the place, right? Same thing with people who smoke. You want to smoke, now you smoking all over the place. Now you grown. Now you hit that threshold where you don't realize that alcohol and that smoke and all that partying it's starting to wear on you and make you look old. And now you can't even see that, now you look like an old addict. You might be you're technically you're not middle age, but you're looking like an addict. You're looking like old, like it done caught up with you, like life has been hard on you. But you don't see it. Why? Because you didn't want to grow up. You still thought you got time. Your line and keep going further and further back, but you still doing the same things you did when you had a line. Stupid. You know what I'm saying? You had edges 10 years ago and you're still doing the same, and you lost them all, you're still doing the same thing. You're stupid. See, this is what happens when you don't want to grow up. And then people start looking at you differently. You in your 30s and 40s and the music come on, you twerking. Grown folks having sex, but they not just finna be out in public. Yeah, sit down somewhere. They gonna dance like adults. A woman know how to be seductive when she hit a certain age. You're not sitting here like a teenager and an early 20 girl and the early stripper. You're tripping. You know what I'm saying? You look 30. You cold-blooded, cynical. You know what I'm saying? This is where we at with stuff. This is what happens when you don't want to grow up. What happens when you don't want to grow up, even when it comes to this relationship talk that we have on YouTube. A lot of times what's happening is people who didn't want to grow up, they're too old to not be considered adults. So now they want to meet somebody who's an adult so they can carry them for the rest of their life. That's what's going on. See, they didn't want to grow up. So now, because you didn't want to grow up, now you got a million standards that somebody need to live up to. Like when we was in our 20s, like when I was in my 20s and people was having these crazy standards about people. Most people from 18 to 25 is not balling. But I got to have this and I got to have that. And the sex got to be like this and the sex got to be like that. And you got to have this and you got to have that. The book is on parenting. Some of the things you might be touched on in the book, but it's more about parenting. It's about the baby mama, baby daddy, the drama and all the stuff to try to get out of that drama and focus on your kids and the court system and all that other stuff. It's encompassing all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they had the same taste as somebody 35. It don't make no sense. You're foster that codependent. This is what's going on. A lot of people just didn't want to grow up. And now, when you hear people, I need somebody to do this, I need somebody to do that, and like this and on this level. Here's a see what happens when you don't want to grow up is you want somebody on a higher level than you. But but you ain't even in the building. See what I mean by that is, do you live in the neighborhoods of the type of people that you're looking for? See what I'm saying? Like, see, you didn't want to grow up. You wanted the world to come to you. You thought everything was just gonna happen because you're thinking like a child. You got it like that. It's the world is your oyster. Somebody gonna see you getting wings at wing stops and they just gonna change your life. Like, you stupid stuff. See, this is what happens when you don't want to grow up. You don't want to go out there and get it. You want somebody to give it to you. You know what happens when you don't want to grow up. You don't want to put yourself out there and to see if you can succeed or fail. You might make a fool of yourself. That happens. People embarrass themselves all the time. It happens. But are you willing to keep going? More people succeed than fail when they put themselves out there. But everybody's scared to fail. And that's, when you don't grow up, you scared to fail. You scared that, it's gonna make me look bad. I'm not gonna be cool. Man, everybody worrying about looking bad or being cool. People worrying about doing what they need to do, realizing their dreams and aspirations and fulfilling their goals. This is crazy. Oh yeah, I know about that too, Ben. I get that. I get that. You know what I'm saying? into adoption agencies. That's messed up. And you see it now because you see, when they had that little stint with people, man, I'm adulting and being an adult is messed up. No, ain't nothing wrong with being an adult. People just want to be children for their whole life. That's what it is. You want to be a kid your whole life. And it's different from a person who didn't have a childhood. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been my experience, people who had a messed up childhood or did not actually get the chance to fully be a child or a teenager, they actually function good as adults, and they might do some childish stuff from time to time, but they grown, they gonna cut it off. Oh, that was fun. We had a water gun fight. Oh, that was fun. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we had a food fight. That was fun. Let's clean this stuff up though. Oh, we had a little party. We had a little 80s party, 70s party, 90s party, 2000 party. That was fun. So let's get back to handling our business. You know what I'm saying? That is what I've seen. But, there's a lot of people who just, they just don't want to grow up. And what happens is, man, see, a lot of people who don't want to grow up get religious too. See, it's everybody else's responsibility. Jesus gonna take care of it. Wait. How come Jesus got to take care of what you can do for yourself? God is supposed to do things that you can't do for yourself. Like part the sea and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Save you when you're in the fire type thing. God make miracles happen, but the stuff that you supposed to do for yourself, God ain't supposed to be doing that. That's stupid. No, God provides it all. Jesus provides. No, you're supposed to get off your behind and provide something for yourself. Produce something for yourself. But see, this is what happens when you don't want to grow up. You want someone or another entity to do it for you. Yeah, God, people forget. The old said, God bless the child who got his own. God helps people who help themselves. I don't know, like, you get childish when you don't want to help yourself. Because I've seen people who purposely kept, like, what winds up happening is they didn't want to grow up, so people don't realize this person winds up in these dire situations over and over again. Some of these people put themselves in, like, it's two different types of people. People who wind up spiraling downward because they just don't want to take responsibility for their life. So it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. They keep digging themselves a hole. And then there are the other people who purposely are not taking care of their life, and they're making it so bad that they're saying somebody's got to come save me from this because it's only gonna get worse. Y'all know I'm gonna mess up. Like, I hate to say this reference, like, but when you get a kid that's spoiled, you know, and then you tell them, yeah, look, it's time for you to grow up, be an adult, go out on your own. Well, I don't. If I gotta work, y'all, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might go out into these streets and I might do all kinds of things. All right, whatever, go do it, then, whatever. But I ain't bailing you out. You not? No, no, I'm not. See, this is what happens when you don't want to grow up. You think you're gonna threaten somebody with you continuing to be a screw up in life, and that's gonna make them all of a sudden just take care of you more and more. It's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Some people just don't. You know, it's not that they don't have people. People think that they don't have drive and they don't have vision. They're driven to make and they're ambitious about other people doing stuff for them. That's what they're driven to do. Nah, I don't do private stuff, man. I'm just, I just get on here, speak my piece, and get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Just right, and we could, and Wallace, we could see that by, you know what I'm saying? When this whole thing happened, you know, it was an understandable thing that, excuse me, that the president said everybody need to get $1,200 or something like that. And another thing about this, what happens when you don't want to grow up? You want your kids to take care of you. See, there are a lot of parents who got children and they didn't grow up, but they're putting, they didn't want to put themselves in a position to make their kids successful. They want their kids to they want their kids to put them in a position to be successful. You owe me because I did this and I had you. Man, if you don't shut up, you know how disgusting it is to hear an adult, say what they child need to take care of them. And I'm not talking about an adult who's actually taking care of their child or children. I'm not talking about an adult who sacrificed. I'm not talking about an adult who got sick or who got hurt. I'm talking about a fully functional adult who did the bare minimum or below the bare minimum for their child or children. And then all of a sudden, what we doing? You need to take care. You need to take care. I was there for you. Shut up. You lying. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens when you don't want to grow up. What's up, Jacqueline? Yeah, they sure will, Tony. They screw you every time. You know what I'm saying? Touch base. What's happening? This is, a lot of people don't take that into consideration, that a lot of times what you're seeing is a separation between people. The separation is because it's between adults and the children. We all might be grown, in age, but or we're considered grown by our age, but people separate themselves from the adults and the children because mentally adults and children are different. It just don't make no sense. Dwayne, what's happening? Uh-oh. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happens when you don't want to grow up is you become a liar. See, the older you get, life get real. If you don't handle your business, life is gonna get real. So now, if you spend so much time not wanting to be an adult, now you become a liar because you're trying to lie to everybody to get them to help you, because you're not helping yourself. So now what you got to do, you got to come up with these grandiose stories, and they make you look stupid. I'm gonna just be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? When people don't grow up and you grown and you start having one crazy story after the next, or this happened and that happened, you look like a clown. You look like an idiot. Like, how does all of this dumb stuff keep happening to you consecutively? Like, are you tripping right now? Uh-oh. What's up, Dollar Washer, man? Thanks, fam. Oh, they do become envious. Man, I've been cooking all week. Thanks, fam. I'm gonna get a grill a break. I thought I was giving a break today, man. I thought I was baking and not cooking. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, this is a little cereal. And JT, you're right. They do become envious because when you don't want to grow up, you see all the people who actually can carry themselves like adults. They living better than you, and now you, well, you know what I'm saying? You go, I'm a better person than you, man. They tripping. Oh man. Oh well. Hey, I feel you on that. I definitely get that. Yeah, she gonna need some counseling. That's what happened too. I've been in relationships like that. Hey man, you own one. And I ain't gonna lie, most of those exes hollered back at me months to years later, like, I'm a different person. I wasn't with him no more, but I ain't trying to be with him no more. But I was happy for that. But you don't put up with all that stuff. I get it. Well, here's the crazy part, Miss Gigi, is what happens when you don't want to grow up. You swear that people believe you. I'm gonna tell you what people really do. Sometimes people are so annoying because they didn't grow up that people just give them stuff like a child to get out of my face. They treat them just like a child. Here's a lollipop, get out of my face. Here's $20, get out of my face. Here's the $50 you need to get out of my face. And the crazy part about it is some of us do that to people on purpose because we're like, look, I gave you $20 last time. I gave you $20 last time. I gave you $50 last time. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going through a thing. I'm going through this, and I need to get by a couple. Whatever. How come you always need to get by? Why don't you get ahead? You know what I'm saying? I feel you on that, Rick. They beg until you give in. And the crazy part about it is, some people don't realize, some people seeing people getting cussed out and talked down. You don't talk to them. They just down on their luck. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not down on their luck. They created their down luck. And they keep creating their down luck. And they're going to have down luck next week because they're going to make sure it happens. You're going to cuss them out if they hang around you after a while because you realize they don't want to grow up. People forget when you have, if you have a family, you have friends that don't want to grow up, and if you're responsible, they might ask you for a favor. They might ask you for some money. They might ask you for a loan. They might ask you to stay with you for a while. They might ask you to use your car. 9 times out of 10, what do? They mess it up. They ask you for a loan. They get on, even if they get on their feet, they're not gonna give you the money back. Matter of fact, they're gonna be just like a child, and they're gonna run off and duck you. Or they're gonna be right in your face. They got their money, and then they just look what I got. Look what I got. Where's my money? I thought this was a loan. You asked for this as a loan, and not, if they do some things like, what I'm saying? Yeah, they like you owe us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Get to doing exactly, Wallace. You know what I'm saying? Crazy stuff. You ever been with somebody? They've been at your house, whether they just came by for a while or they stayed, and you realize, you look at them, and this is what happens. Like when people don't grow up, you can tell this, and it doesn't matter when you're in direct company with them. Look how messy they are. See, people who don't grow up are messy like children, like teenagers. It don't matter where they go. They could be in your house and you constantly cleaning up after them. You could be at a restaurant with them and they constantly making a mess. You know what I'm saying? You could be out to eating at a barbecue and they constantly just piling on more. They're all over the place. It's always more and more and more. They bring that childishness everywhere. Won't you clean the table? This is all your stuff. Why you need 10 cups? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Well, I was gonna bring something, but I ran into trouble. Oh, you was gonna bring something. You got here late, saying you was gonna bring something, but you in here to eat and drink everything. So how come you just couldn't be a little bit later and go get something? Well, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to show my face. No, you didn't. You wanted to hurry up and show up here late with your hungry stomach and think nobody was gonna see you, and you trying to eat everybody out of house and home. That's that welfare mind state. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens when you don't want to grow up. And and I've met women who didn't want to grow up. I'm gonna be pretty forever. All I got to do is just smile and show my little fine body, and it's gonna be all good. Okay. Let me tell you something. Over the last 20 years, I've seen a whole lot of fine chicks who were fine 20, 15, 10, 5 years ago. They can't operate in life right now because they spent all of their time just trying to be fine. Now they're trying to get life skills in their 30s and 40s. That's because they didn't want to grow up. They wanted pretty to ride them out into the sunset forever. And some of them, and to be perfect, some of them do got jobs, and they mess up on their job. Chaos, what's up, man? They screw ups on the job. Same thing with dudes. I know it's the same thing. Oh, I'm gonna be a fly one forever. I got it like that forever. You gonna fall off, and now you ain't got no life skills. You think swagger was gonna take you through life? Swagger don't pay the bills. Swagger don't keep the lights on. Swagger don't keep food in your stomach. Pretty don't keep the lights on. Pretty don't keep food in your stomach. You know what I'm saying? It's just stupid stuff. And for real, yeah. When that body gone, they done. And this is what happens when people don't want to grow up. And the worst thing that I've seen, Roastmaster, what's good, fam? Hope all is well with you. I ain't seen you in a while. What's up to you? Eric, what's happening? Miss Dixon, what's going on? I caught y'all. You know what I'm saying? But this is what goes on. Like, the worst thing I've seen recently in the last few years is what happens when people don't want to grow up, when you can tell by the way, like, they went hard in the tattoo game and the partying and the nightlife, and they're taking it everywhere they go. Like, some people, they get older, they cover it up, or you know what I'm saying, or it just blends into their lifestyle. They a changed person, on the inside than they look on the outside, and you can tell it. But then you see people who are the reverse. They still haven't evolved. So now they look like a middle-aged teenager, and they just can't cut it off. They 35, 40, 50, they got pink hair and blue hair. I seen a grown man last week. He had to be in his 50s. He dyed his hair blonde, and I'm looking like, you an idiot, bro. You black. You a black man. You should be you almost a granddad, and you got blonde hair right now. Seriously? And you ain't even brush it. It ain't combed. It ain't no waves or nothing. You just, man, what are you doing? This is what happens when you don't want to grow up. You walking around like cosplaying Comic-Con, and you want somebody to take you seriously. Can't take you seriously. Because truth be told, the people who walk around like cosplaying Comic-Con and got their life together, if you have they talk like it. They know that I know I'm over here dressed like Captain America. I'm just having fun today. You know what I'm saying? This is cool. I'm feeling it. I'm being a little silly today. Cool. They ain't gonna do that every day, everywhere they go, though. But see, these other folks, this is what happens when you don't want to grow up. You still gotta express yourself all the way. Your expression, you can't breathe. Like, man, haven't you grown up? Haven't you got tired of expressing yourself every day? Like, damn. Like, haven't you run out of ways to be expressive? Like, chill out. You know what I'm saying? What? Dwayne, heck, oh my God. Somebody needs to pull that man aside. Dwayne, Dwayne, stop, dog. Stop. Just stop. Just stupid stuff. He keep acting like, now, mark my words, he keep acting like that, and watch Gabrielle Union get a crush on somebody, with a gray beard in a pickup truck, acting swole with her half a lesbian self. She cheated on Dwayne Wade with Steve Austin. How? Where did that come from? He's just in the bedroom. Give me a hell yeah. you know, every wow, I talk about he out there, man. Like, don't make no sense, man. It don't make no sense, Evan. It's silly stuff. Yeah, it don't make sense. Yeah, I don't, man. He ain't Flash no more, man. You just gotta let it go. He got other sons. I'm just tripping. Like, man, you know what? I'm skipping that dude, man. He needs to grow the hell up too. Yeah, I'm saying he needs to grow up too. He needs to grow the hell up. I mean, he figured like he made his money, he made his legacy and all that, but yeah, super. It's you gonna be all in the bedroom. Stunning her. You about to get this stunner. But it is what it is. Yeah, he ain't Flash no more, man. He just ain't. But that's what happens. Like when people don't grow up, you sitting there like there's a time and place for everything. Like what happens when you don't grow up, now you want the world to acknowledge you. Like what happens when you don't grow up, you still want attention. Like grown people ain't going out looking for attention like that. I need somebody to look at me and pay me attention. Because you see people who are they old and they still over the top. Like, what do you need to be seen for? Like, why? All I was trying to do was buy a few little groceries, some snacks, and some lemonade, but you just gotta be seen. I don't understand this. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens when you don't want to grow up. Like when I see people, and it might sound weird, but I can tell by the way people drive that they haven't grown up yet. Because people do stuff, they try to hit you with a car for attention. They want to hit the gas, in a parking lot for attention. And you look, and I'm trying to like, okay, is that a kid? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because even people with sports cars, they don't drive crazy in parking lots. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. Like what happens when you don't want to grow up? You don't know the value of money when you go out in public. You don't know what it costs. Like when I see videos of people with a stack of hundreds, you just want to. First of all, when you thought that was cool when you was a kid, now you grown, you still think that's cool. If you got money like that, the last thing you want to do is put it on camera. Look at all the hundreds. Let me film this. What? Let me tell you something. When you really got stuff, you got it. You don't have to put it on film that you got it. It's actually a part of your lifestyle. You got it. People gonna know you got it because it's regular to you. See, this is what happens when you don't grow up. You think like a kid. Oh, well, I'm gonna get $1 million, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy a Lamborghini, and I'm gonna buy a mansion, and I'm gonna put a bowling alley in it. You don't even think about taxes. You know what I'm saying? You don't think about, oh, I got all this money, I gotta burn it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna live off of this forever, I'm gonna ball forever. Rich people to tell you, man, even rich people got budgets, man. All the rich people that you want to be in life, they're grown. They got a budget. See, some people forget that. They got a yearly budget. Just how much I can spend a year. Do they splurge from time to time? Yeah, but they stick to the budget. If they don't stick to the budget, you know what they are? They broke. That's what happens. But when you don't want to grow up, you think, you want to go out there and make yourself broke and then be like, oh, you stressed out. It's better to be ahead in life than behind. Life is so good when you're ahead of life and then when you're behind it. And people who don't want to grow up are always behind in life. Because the way you get ahead is by growing up. It's by being responsible. It's by taking your time and doing things right. Pacing through the neighborhood, man. Stupid stuff, man. Go out. That's just crazy, fam. What's happening to you? Be strict. You know, I'm not even sure if it was Wesley Snipes, because I think Nicolas Cage was the one that was reckless with money. I think Wesley Snipes an accountant who messed up his money twice and got him sent to jail. If I'm not mistaken, I could be, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, you ain't gotta people better realize, even with people who got money and got like that, they say they made a lot of dumb decisions with money. You know what I'm saying? Because they were being childish. They don't. What do I need this for now? Everything is a phase. You know what I'm saying? You grow out of being childish. Is what I'm saying. Doctor, what's happening? Support the city of Oakland. Hey, man. Whew, yeah, he did. That's how he went broke. He was paying people $75,000, $80,000. And he had a big entourage too. Big entourage. Yeah, try to live a trust fund baby lifestyle. You can't do that. And even trust fund babies go broke because of the same reason, because they don't grow up. I've seen those people. They have no sense of money. Like, and people don't realize how many trust fund kids wind up going broke after their parents die, because they're just out there, just spend it. I just want this, and I want. They never look. And then they wind up in debt. Oh yeah, I know about that. Most of them go broke from divorce. That's really how most of those pro athletes go broke. The vast majority of them wind up going bankrupt because of divorce. They get married while they're in the league, and then when they retire, years after their retirement, they get divorced. Look at the divorce rates. It's like from 3 to 5 years they get divorced. Jay Cutler, you see he's seen it coming. Do basketball players? Some of them do. Like we think of guys who are uber successful. I would say football players go broke the fastest because they have the shortest careers, and the league don't look out for them like that. And because and normally football players are the most famous people in the streets. People don't understand what I'm saying by what I mean is basketball players, everybody knows their face. Basketball players, baseball players, even hockey players, people who are in those industries and other sports, they know those faces. You don't know football players' face. So what they wind up doing is they wind up spending their money to get a reputation in the streets. Since you don't know their face, they gotta know they gonna let you know who they are when they out. So they spend too much doing that stupid stuff. Oh no. Yeah, but when the parents die, it's a different story, JT. Yeah, because even AI had a you know what I'm saying. AI was just bad with money. And what I mean by bad, you're right. Like Garnett, he about to get divorced. Because T.O. didn't go broke. T.O. went broke because of because one of the agents stole his money. You know what I'm saying? Because he was never married. Yeah, he paying child support, but people got to remember, Kevin Garnett is in a whole different tax bracket, because Kevin Garnett made what, $300-400 million playing basketball, so she's only probably entitled to in a marriage maybe 120 of that. The other 2 something he had before they got married. So she gonna get that money, but she ain't gonna get the money prior to that. Because remember, KG was playing basketball when them rookies was getting them $120 million deals. People forget about that. Yes, the white players do stuff like that. Don't get it mistaken. They just in different places. They do it differently. They stunt. It's just, you know what I'm saying? They don't hang out in the same places. Yeah. I'm not surprised. Ocho ain't broke. I hate to break the news to you, Pat. Ocho ain't broke. Ocho cheap. Ocho cheap. Like Ocho is if you want to say be rich for life, follow the path of Ocho Cinco or Marshawn Lynch. Them Negroes cheap. Ocho is cheap, cheap, cheap. And he buys stuff cash. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that sucks with Blake Griffin. I don't think it's that now though. I think that was like overpayment or something because truth be told, people don't realize because child support was so out of hand. I would say even in New York. Oh yeah, Ocho cheap dog. He cheap dog. Air cheap too. Air from like he from outside of New Orleans. He got married in California, but you got to remember something about divorces in general. It's the money within the marriage that was made. He made over $200 million before they got married, if I'm not mistaken. Because I don't think they've been married for a certain amount of years. But I think one of KG rookie contracts was like a 98 mil. You gotta remember, KG is like Glenn Robinson and Chris Webber. That was when they was getting that kind of money out the gate. Prime gonna always have money because Prime cheap too. Prime take care of his money. What up? What up, Unc? You know. Oh, he did headbutt the chick, but he ain't. You remember they ain't get married really, so she ain't really getting none on the way out. So she broke. He not. Sorry. Oh, they don't have to get married at all, but basically, if you go, what you're seeing is more athletes getting married after their payday. Or like say the NFL players or the NBA players, after they sign that guarantee, that second guarantee, that's when you see them getting money. Yeah, Kawhi cheap too. Yeah, but they don't like a lot of times. I'm gonna tell you what winds up happening with them guys. Um, a lot of times, a lot of those guys could just live the rest of their life off of interest if they just put it in the bank. Like, you know, like the smart dudes. Yeah, I feel you on that. The smart dudes, they live off of the smart dudes. They have a budget, a yearly budget. They live off of the interest in their bank accounts and their savings, and they put that in a budget. You know what I'm saying? Then they get into small franchises and chains that make money, like the Chick-fil-A's, like the Wing Stops, like the Five Guys. They get into that and kind of commercial real estate. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? Or they buy into buildings, not necessarily skyscrapers, but buildings being built and stuff like that. They do that kind of stuff, and they just keep their money. That's why you see some of them guys, they just be chilling because they're in different businesses like that. The other guys, some of the other guys are just chilling. They'll go golfing, and some of the other guys who don't even want to do all that. Some guys get farms, and some guys like if y'all don't know, Von Miller, he tripping with the he getting married, but he owns a chicken farm. Like I don't know if people know that, and it's on YouTube. Like he owns a chicken farm, so when it's over with, he good. You know what I'm saying? See, people don't take that into consideration. Yeah, and you got to remember, like, inflation is different. Shaq shouldn't be a billionaire right now, but he up there though. You gotta understand, Shaq got $500-600 million. Like people don't realize, like Shaq learned his lesson that first time when he spent that first $1 million. So Shaq, if you listen to Shaq now, he tell you he lives off of 25 cents off the dollar or less. So he tell you, if he makes $1 million, his taxes is already gone, and he might live off of the 250,000. The other 250,000 is is saved, and that's all his expenses. And he got what, 6 kids? He good. Oh, that sucks with KG, you know. But trust me, KG gonna be set for life regardless, though. He don't. From my understanding, if you ever see him file for bankruptcy, that fool got money overseas somewhere. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of black farmers. Yeah, there are a lot of cats in that too. But that's what a lot of those cats do. And they starting to get, the older these guys are starting to get, the more they're realizing it. The only it's why you see these less and less of these guys concerned, because they're keeping their money in house. They don't spend money like that. I'm gonna say this little part of it, and I'm gonna get out of here. The guys who got their stuff really together like that, they buy homes and they buy them cash. Cause when they pay a house all cash, they just paying the taxes. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they'll put the taxes in their yearly budget. So the taxes on the house, because what you wind up seeing is guys get these uber mansions, and then they realize they don't need them and it's too big. So they might have a house that's, I've heard of guys with like 50,000 square feet homes. I don't know about that. Nate the Great not broke. No, Nate the Great chill, because Nate the Great cheap too. And Nate the Great is one of my favorite players all the time. Yeah, he was in Chameleon doing his thing. Talk about the reason why some of the good black men are broke, because they don't know how to say no. That's why. You don't say no to your family. You don't say no to your friends. You don't say no to the people you date. You don't say no to when somebody comes up with a good business idea. You just give them money. That's how you go broke, because nobody's gonna pay you back. What's up, Jacqueline? That's what winds up happening, Patrick. They don't know how to say no. The people who wind up more rich in life, they know how to say no. Now, even though we was clowning about Dwayne Wade pink hair earlier, he know how to say no financially. You better believe that. Yeah, I feel you on that one, Edward. He know how to say no financially. And that was like he said, don't end up like Antoine Walker. Because Antoine Walker was, I think, one of his worst. He bought too many cars. He bought a lot of cars, but he also got into I want to say an apartment complex, a housing complex, and he was the default. Like everybody, it was like, say if you got into you got into somebody, you had the money to no, it wasn't a gambling. It wasn't a gambling like that. It was the spending, because truth be told, a lot of these athletes are gamblers because they gamble with the team so much. They gamble with their teammates a lot. Then and if you get too much, then you go out. But it was that damn apartment building thing. You just seen it on IG. Yeah, he got into that and he wound up footing the bill for it. So it's like $5 to $15 million if it fall through, and it was all on him. That's when the bankruptcy stuff kicked in. It was real estate. Like that's what got him. See, people don't realize, real estate is a good business, but yeah, it is too much, touch base. It is too much. People don't really like. I'm gonna say this about this. For all y'all who aspire to or will have matches, and I hope all y'all do. My older cousin had a house that was 11,000 square feet. The kind with the walk-in shower that you can drive a car through the shower. That kind of house, right? And it took me years later to find out. Michael Jackson's ranch on Never Never Land. The house was 11,000 square feet. When a house is that big, it has too much space. It has way too much space. Like, it's too big, because now you walk so far to get to the kitchen. You walk so far to get to the rooms. You walk so far if you go to the basement. You walk so far. So sometimes you don't even want to leave certain areas after a while because it's like, fuck, I just don't want to go all the way over. I just don't. Now the upkeep is ridiculous. Like if you get a house like that, but see, this is inflation. Like that house was 11,000 square feet in Atlanta, and it was $1 million house. He lived in the same subdivision with Mike Vick. The Welch is great people. You know, though. You know, I want to say Tony Braxton before she went broke, they lived in the same subdivision. As you know, and what I'm getting at is this. You know, he had a much smaller house that was maybe 3,000 or 4,000 square feet in Texas. But let me go back to that. That 11,000 square foot house now that cost $1 million back then, that's probably $5 million now in the market. That's what I'm. So the inflation is crazy on that. But you know, yeah, the utilities is a lot. Yeah, if you need it, he did have an elevator because they had a 2-story closet. They had the closet went from the bedroom to the third because it's basement, main floor, upstairs. The closet went from the main floor to upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he could. Yeah. Like when you buy big houses like that, certain houses are hard to sell. But if you buy a big mansion in a subdivision, it's easy to sell. Now, if you buy a big mansion outside of a subdivision, like the house that Rick Ross bought, that was like Evander Holyfield house, that house had been on the market for years because it was just too much, and it's out on its own property, and the upkeep is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? The upkeep on that house was ridiculous. It's still ridiculous. You know, like Shaq's house. You can't, like Shaq's house in Orlando. I don't think he ever sold that because it's too big. The only person I knew who wanted to buy Shaq's house in Orlando was Michael Jackson. That's the only person, because he said it. Michael Jackson wanted to buy that house numerous times. If you buy a house like that in a subdivision, you can sell it. Because normally, let me say this to you. The richest of the richest people live in those type of subdivisions. Because they can have multiple homes in multiple different subdivisions throughout the country. And this person stays there, that person stays there, blah, blah, blah. So you live in those subdivisions with rich people, and what winds up happening is, you know, this how business deals happen half of the time because you know somebody and somebody knows somebody and they're your neighbor, this, that, and the third. So it keeps people in the loop, even on business. So that's why you can sell it. But you can't sell, like if you just buy a house, like you know, Bruce Wayne type of thing, you know, it's out there, it's huge. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard as hell to sell it. You just gonna have to auction that off. Just give it up. Don't pay the taxes. Auction it off. That's how Mike Tyson. You remember when 50 Cent bought Mike Tyson's house? It's hard to get rid of that house. I don't even think it took him years to get rid of that house. It's too big, and it's too off on its own. An estate is different than a home in a subdivision. You can have a mansion in the subdivision, but if you have a mansion on an estate, that's two different things. You know. That's two different things, and I don't think 50 Cent live in he live in a smaller house now. You don't need that much. You know what I'm saying? You really don't. But it is what it is. But let me get out of here, y'all. Cause I gotta go spend time with my lady, and I gotta cook. So, cause I'm hungry, I ain't eat all day. So thank y'all for rocking with me. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.